Good afternoon. I've had a busy afternoon. Normally what I do is I bake scones. So this is my second tray of me baking the scones. And they smell good. They're vanilla flavor. Come on in, let's talk about Bill 7. Tell me where you're watching me from. Good afternoon, good afternoon. In the meantime, I will good afternoon. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, good afternoon. You've just come on board. I was just trying to say I've been busy baking scones. This is my second tray. This is my hobby. I normally bake. So I said, before I do the school pickups and school run, let me speak to you guys for a bit. I've got at least an hour. So many of you guys have been asking me about Bill 7 because I've been posting it. We have seen that President Hakainde Hichilema is live presently bidding for Bill 7 to go through. And I'm here to tell you everything that you need to know about Bill 7 so that you should look at it as a dangerous, evil agenda. President Hakainde Hichilema is there in the images. There is Madam Beauty Katewe. Recently, she's part of the NGOCC, non-government organization. And then she's also part of the Oasis Forum that went to State House last week. And we had a prayer day on Friday. In the middle there is a picture of President Hakainde Hichilema. With Madam Beauty Katewe. Today he says, she's not a factor, she's not important, no dialogue, and yet he depended on her and the organization to talk against Bill 10. Madam Beauty Katewe and the organization NGOCC plus the Oasis Forum, they've been in existence since Chiluba days, and they've been, checking in on what is going on in Zambia. There is my amazing presidential aspiring candidate presently, John Sangwa, who is a constitutional lawyer. He has written up a summary of why Bill 7 is a danger. Also, if you want a copy of the Bill 7 summary, Dr. Mwelwa, PhD, Lawrence, he's written a summary of it on 39 pages. It's available. If you send me a message, I will send you the document. It's important that you read. And for those of you who are, community leaders, it's important that you have the copy so that tumwaberengera abantu abali mu Zambia abeshishibe for Bill 7 ide piruwala. What is Bill 7? Panshapo kwena pali picture ya abantu kuchoma protesting, saying Bill 7 should come, into force. And of course, that's Brian Munduvila and the MPs when they were speaking last week, condemning Bill 7. They spoke. These are the Patriotic Front MPs. Many of them did a live stream. I shared on my page. I shared on my YouTube platform. They also condemn Bill 7. There is also a list of MPs whom Hakainde Hichilema is going to target to speak to when it comes to Bill 7, supporting him, so that Bill 7 should go through. Bill 7 is an evil agenda, and it's important that we educate ourselves what Bill 7 is all about. So if you want a copy, please do request the copy. Let me give you the number you can ask from. He will send it to you now, okay? So the number is +260 97404 0861 97404 08641. That's Hendrix. He will send it to you. I'm sending him the copy right now so that you can have the copy of the Bill 7 summarized so that you can explain. Kumaskulu, different places. I've seen Hakainde Hichilema is live presently, even with some students, telling them what to say, of course. But I want to summarize for you and read what Bill 7 is all about. Now, Many of you might have listened briefly to what Hakainde Hichilema and his people are speaking about right now, his life. I listened to the students speak, and I just saw ignorant students who will be given probably chiwantu or some kachasu a little bit, and when they drink that kachasu, they are satisfied to destroy the future of Zambia. Bill 7 is not about Leland Mutambo hating Hakainde Hichilema, no. Bill 7 is not about the opposition not liking Hakainde Hichilema, no. Bill 7 is about protecting the future of Mother Zambia. I have children who are born and raised in the United Kingdom. I shouldn't care because the British government has set their lives for good, okay? My 4 daughters were born in the UK. They're British citizens. My son was born in Zambia. He's here. Him too is a citizen. So I shouldn't care. But because I love you so much, I should educate you about these things. So let's go straight into Bill 7. So thank you so much to Dr. Mwelwa for summarizing this. This is the document which he has written down. It says Bill 7, explained in a very simple language, analyzed by Dr. Mwelwa. Share this with your MP. So share this with the community. So the number, guys, again, that you need the Bill 7 copy from is 0974 040 861. Please type it for me, guys. Type it for me. 0974 040 861. Request for a copy from Hendricks. He will send you the copy. Okay, so what is Bill 7? Okay, what changes the article? What changes to Article 52 mean? Okay, Hakainde Hichilema wants to change Article 52. So Clause 1, new nomination rule. The bill removes the old clause and replaces it with a new one. What it now says, okay? Presently, this is what the bill says, the bill that he wants to change. It says anyone who wants to contest elections, president, MP, mayor, council chairperson, or councillor must file in their nomination papers with the returning officer at the ECZ, including an affidavit providing they qualify for the position. Normally it's a grade 12, okay, grade 12 certificate. Submit, and your national registration card. Submit their papers on the day, and then place a day and place set by Electoral Commission of Zambia through regulations. So presently these are the rules, okay? So it simply means that the ECZ have full control of the nominations, including the exact dates. They'll tell you. Messi, you want to stand as a councillor, you are going to come, all councillors who are aspiring to stand in Lusaka, you are coming on the 10th of April 2026 to come and file in nominations. So you must turn up on that day with all the qualifications. They will check through your qualifications and they will accept your nomination. Prior to that as well, you must pay via bank account to the ECZ. You go there with a receipt. They will know that you have paid, okay? They will check. They have a system. So they have full control of everything. That's the current bill. Now, clause number 4 also, ECZ powers are expanded. The phrase "and determine" is added. So simple meaning, okay? He's really explained it in a very simple way. Simple meaning, ECZ will now, so according to now the clause, okay? What Hakainde Hichilema wants now, okay? Clause 4. What he's saying is that ECZ will now have the power not only to hear the complaints or appeals about the nominations, but also decide the outcome of those cases. In other words, ECZ will become the judge of the nomination disputes. So if I don't like you, Daniel, and I've seen that you filed in, I'll go to ECZ and say, Daniel Mufumienpo. Daniel didn't send the 20 kwacha. So because Daniel didn't send the 20 kwacha, he's not a good leader, Mufumienpo. And ECZ will become the judge now to say, okay, he sent to Mufumienpo Daniel because he, Brian Chilala na baidi shanyati Dani, Ari Kongola 20 kwacha tabwesha. So it can be any small dispute, even plot, land, dispute, marito. Your wife can be paid money to say, go and tell this person to come out. If not, to allow a family and your own say. Okay, remember we're in Africa. So these people can use any means, all right? So now, so ECZ will become the judge of nomination disputes, not just a receiver of complaints. Okay, so now, the clause 6, new rules about candidate resignation, disqualification, or death. Okay, the whole new clause, the old clause is removed and replaced with new rules. So what HH wants to do is, when a member of parliament, a council chairperson dies, you know, it's normal, it happens, we've had so many people dying. They want to remove all that. Okay, what it used to be, whereby we have a by-election. All right? Excuse me, Scop. Don't come to my page and comment rubbish. Piss off. We are talking about a serious matter of my country. All right? If I didn't care, I would have been enjoying going to watch my daughter who is doing a Christmas activity today and tomorrow. Okay, they are doing rehearsals today. Tomorrow I go and watch it. I would rather go and do that than talk to you people. So if I'm sparing my time, respect me. I don't have time for rubbish. Okay? So, what it says now, okay, for example, if a candidate resigns after being nominated, of which you would expect that, especially with the UPND, they can go and tell people, iwe, kashite resign. Pew, pew, resign. Ngasuza chite resign uzaona. Tizaku tengela fami yako, tizaku tengela kanta yako, business yako. Already Hakainde Hichilema has been known to squeeze people with what they have. Majority of the people you're seeing who are aspiring to stand even as presidents, their bank accounts are frozen. Their businesses are frozen. Even people who've been speaking about Bill 7, you've seen what has happened. Munia Zulu is in jail. Okay, the first time we succeeded, Bill 7 was thrown out of parliament, but HH knows he's going to lose the elections in 2026. That's the reason why he is pushing for Bill 7. Bill 7 is a danger. You must listen to what I'm explaining here. Very important. Okay, so if a candidate resigns after being nominated, that candidate is banned from contesting the election, but the election will continue without them. No fresh nomination will be accepted. So, remember what I told you. I didn't even read this yet. Okay? If somebody from UPND decides, okay, Clara is standing. Clara is standing. We win a Clara. Clara, ngawai minina ukamona, tukasenda family yobe, tukabepa, tukabasta so we Clara we minna. So Clara goes to ECZ, please, ECZ, I don't want to stand anymore. Remove me from the nominations, okay? So Clara resigns. Instead of another person standing on Clara's position as an independent councillor or MP, that place becomes vacant. And, you know, a UPND member who did not even have, you know, the support and the love will end up standing unopposed. That's what Hakainde Hichilema is aiming at. Is to ensure once bale batinya makada bakaya kumiabo iwe twalakuta so and you'll be scared. But Mwewa Enoch, who was a very strong candidate. Awe ne snifuno imirira. Ni chani wa Enoch. Awe snifuna. Kash wa Enoch bado batinya na family yabo. So in the end, kwa shela unga umo, era came in unopposed. So instead of us replacing Kulanda, okay, since ba Muzo na bafumapo, ba Veronica na bafumapo, we should replace. According to Bill 7, we don't replace, we continue with the election without replacing anybody. So like even in an event you've got somebody that is supposed to stand under PF, CF, Limbiafo, Muntu, they say we carry on without them. We don't care. And yet you're supposed to replace that person, Tefio. But they're now saying we don't care, meaning it will be them controlling everything. The whole idea is Hakainde Hichilema wants to be the main person controlling every part of the constitution and, you know, parliament, council chairperson, everywhere in Zambia. So if you allow him, you are literally telling him, we are giving you powers to be in charge of Zambia, to do whatever you want. You will suffer, Zambians. You will suffer more than you're suffering now. Because imagine where we used to have at least MPs who are, you know, in the opposite, you know, they are able to debate on issues. It will be everybody saying, yeah, yes, Buana. This bill, yes. They'll be like zombies now. More than the zombies that we have now. They'll be worse, okay? It will be like, you know, Zambianized kingdom. So, okay, so now, if the candidate has, you know, refused to stand or something has happened, we continue according to Bill 7, okay? So, simple meaning, if a court removes a candidate after nominations, remember what I told you, that somebody can just say, Veronica, you owe me money, 20 kwacha. So because of that, Veronica, suzaimirira. So if a candidate after nominations is removed, okay, using the court, imagine the court, it's going as far as the court to remove you. And you know that the judiciary system at the moment is with Hakainde Hichilema. So you know that they will do it even fast. They will quicken the process. They will make sure that, Veronica, you don't qualify. Okay? So then, the election continues without them. No replacement is allowed to replace you, Beauty. When in case wadwala, maybe wakalako to malaria, you feel, I don't think in Nampamvu. Maybe your mother is sick, or your husband say, no, I think I'm not ready this time. Maybe next time. They cannot replace you. So meaning, for me, that's a danger. It means this government can even be paying people to say, withdraw, 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 so that they remain by themselves. It's a big danger. Especially that we cannot replace anybody. It's a very big danger. Please, guys, remember to share. Somebody says, just intimidating Zambians. Please, we really need your help. We are listening. Yes, it's all about intimidation. A kada can wake up, come to your house, Veronica, and tell you, osa imirira, tizakupaya, na family yako. You withdraw. Meaning your party, whether it's Citizen First, whether it's PF, whether it's FDD, remains without a candidate. It's very dangerous. Because if you can, presently now, if Beauty, you decide to withdraw, your party can say, okay, Beauty has decided to withdraw, but we have a replacement. You can submit a replacement. But under the Bill 7, you cannot submit any replacement. That is a danger. All right. So we're reading it together. I haven't read it. This is the first time I'm reading this summary, and it's really powerful. So, okay. So now, the ECZ, if a candidate dies before election, okay, before election day, the election is cancelled. Okay. ECZ must call for fresh nominations. A new election must be held within 30 days after receiving new nominations. Simple meaning, death of a candidate is only situation where fresh nominations are allowed. The election is restarted. So in an event of a death, which presently is happening, right? But the simple interpretation is this amendment to Article 52 means that ECZ gets more control. Okay, ECZ will run the nominations exactly how they want to choose. Okay, they can say, Patrick Suzaimirira, somebody came with a report that you're a bad person. Even when there is no report, they can do that because they have the power. You understand? And we know that ECZ is run by who? UPND cadres. So how then do you give them so much full control over even nominations? Because nominations should come in from a political party or an organization. Okay, so ECZ, they will choose and they will act as a decision maker in the disputes of nominations. Very dangerous, especially that we have Mangala Zalomes, who has a daughter who is a murderer, Maria Zalomes. They will try by all means to infringe the rights of political parties. They'll even lie, okay? Because you've seen what has happened right now. UPND has gotten hold of the Patriotic Front. They are holding Patriotic Front right now. Badi Katida PF using Chawinga. Now you're now going to give them Patrick, piss off, idiot. Now you're now going to give ECZ the power. Already we've seen even the voters registration, how it has been. It hasn't been fair. How can Southern Province have more votes registered, more than Lusaka, more than Copperbelt? It's never done. So it's a very dangerous bill, okay? So now, ECZ gets more control. Okay, so once nominated, candidates can be replaced except when they die. If a candidate resigns or disqualified, elections will go on without them. I've said this already, okay? So if the person decides that, they resign, the elections will go without them. Very dangerous. Because imagine if your candidate is, for example, your candidate by the name of John Mwamba. Now, we become campaigners by Socialist Party. You've put in money. This is our candidate. You've gone everywhere around campaigning. Hey, candidate, we sue you. And then the person decides to withdraw. 2 days before, ECZ will say, we'll carry on without that person. But if the person withdraws, resigns, and there's a letter, ECZ can allow presently, ECZ can allow a fresh nomination. Now, this is a danger. When people are resigning and they cannot be replaced, to me, it means that Hakainde Hichilema will be sending his cadres. Remember that cadarism has come in, okay? They'll be sending them, nitenga 50 pin, osa enda mairo. Nitenga 100 pin, osa enda mairo. Iwa tenga 200,000, osa enda mairo. You just see your candidate phones off. You are stuck. No candidate. And again, also, political parties might want to be smart. Like, okay, remember they've paid for one nomination. You know, you just pay, okay? Then you have a receipt, a general receipt. So they might say, in case Richard Sanabwereko, Tina Catherine was paid. Then now, Richard no bwera for sure Sanabwe. Tapeleka Catherine, okay, candidate watu, ezeli wina nguyu, but uyu Sanabwe. So, tizacha bwanji, now you candidate. ECZ will refuse to say, we don't know anything about this candidate, we'll go with this candidate. Okay? So what will they do? They'll say, SP, you have no candidate. CF, you have no candidate. PF, you have no candidate. Sorry, you have missed this opportunity. And then UPND will remain alone on the ballot. UPND wants to become a one-party state. They will use intimidation. Bakat ama councillors wewe na mleche tikrati wakabombera pa boho, wakabombera pa menshi, wakabombera pa drainage. They will go and intimidate them so that bakasharefie no other candidate ulawe no tamlefwaya baka mifwa ticket atmusende nuyu. Okay? What UPND wants to do is dictatorship, to force you to get somebody you don't even want, you don't even know. Remember, bamusonda. Kula batama councillor ba di bomba muikala na be na same area. Let me give an example. Munali Ward. Councillor ikala 30 years mu Munali Ward. 25 years mu Munali Ward. Emu akulira. Ama skule kwa yakudia. So understand ama problems. Elo nomba. Eo ripopile. Eo mutemwene mu community. Elo wasami watu no. Since this person has resigned. Elo muadaba no kudaba. Number imwe. Musonde ude wino walelanda telefo kwi minachita resign. Musonde lo inalefo kita resign. Well. It's not possible. You understand? Elo na mama daba fati musonda. Chulufia, get off. Piss off. Okay, stop disturbing my stream. Okay, go and watch your father, who has no sense, that wants to bring all this in Zambia. Your father, Hakainde Hichilema, is a very selfish leader. And we will not allow him with the Bill 7. The Bill 7 is a danger and it must be withdrawn. He's a very selfish guy. So even if you insult me, my friend, I will speak against Bill 7. Imagine, my people, on my comment section, Malentuka, what more a candidate? What type of intimidation will the candidate face? Bakaya mukonkera candidate. Iwe, Romy, tawaiminine. Goaimina tulekwipai. That's why we should not allow Bill 7. Because if we do, they are going to use manipulation to win the elections. Okay, so now, if any candidate dies before election, the whole election is cancelled and restarted. Okay? Please, we don't wish for anyone to die. But at the pace at which UPND is, they might even cause people to die. Yes. So that the election is delayed. If this is Bill 7, would you support such a bill whereby we can change the election? It can be changed even to 2 years later, the general election. So you must be careful to support this Bill 7. Sinyango ya a disappointment for a Namwanga. Get out. I hate Namwangas who are down. Nonsense. Okay, so why is this controversial? Okay, it's controversial because parties cannot replace candidates. Remember, I didn't even read this. Okay, we're reading together. Parties cannot replace candidates who resign or are disqualified. Remember what I told you, that ECZ will have powers to stand over Salifianji. If you're owing someone money, I'm taking you to police. Because what these people can even do, they can even be sending people to iwe mutuale ku court ku police ati aleku owing yenda ama 5 pin. And then the ECZ will say, you're owing 5 pin, you can't stand, we disqualify you. It means that the party cannot replace anybody. ECZ gains significant legal power. They have power. They are the ones, according to Bill 7, they should be in charge. Ever in charge. Salifianji, you can't go anywhere to complain. ECZ is in charge to decide whether you will stand or not. Whereas now, they just receive nominations, and then whoever comes is whom they accept. But with Bill 7, HH wants to give them power. Already HH controls everything. Are you telling me if I now send a candidate called Salifianji or Daudi Chola, Alefo Kwimina, and HH knows that, Daudi Chola are very popular. Awe, Mukanyen. ECZ will say you disqualify. Even when you qualify. Because ECZ is a deciding power. Very dangerous. Okay? So now, another thing is, courts have less impact on election timing. Of course, you know what that means. Ba Salifianji Mwinga, Namkwata, Imilandu, ya 5,000 kwacha you over Daudi Chola. Because the courts decide maybe 2 years' time. There's a lady that is dealing with an issue of Ambepeshat as a group at one of the companies in Zambia. Okay? It's a very big company. Since 2020, they are still going to court. This is 2025, 5 years later. She has never worked. Her accounts have been frozen. She had at least some money there, accounts frozen. So if now already we know that the judiciary system is with Hakainde Hichilema, then now we say, no, it's okay, let Bill 7 be there. It means they would adjourn the case to 2027 when you're supposed to stand in 2026. A very dangerous bill, okay? Then voters may end up with fewer choices. Exactly what I said. And then elections can proceed even when major candidates are removed. So if CF candidate is removed, PF candidate is removed, FDD candidate is removed, all over they are removed, and there's only a UPND candidate, they will carry on. So which means that candidate will end up having 100% votes or 98% votes, like what has happened where? In Tanzania. Bill 7 is a Tanzania formula. That is what Hakainde Hichilema wants to use. Even with the presidential candidates, it's a very dangerous thing because HH will want to start giving even car park ticket crime to our presidential candidates. Anything. Oh, you didn't pay 200 kwacha water bill. Go and pay. Oh, your tipping is showing you have 20,000 kwacha, so you cannot stand. It will be silly things that will put people in a mess. Already Hakainde Hichilema has frozen their account. So now you can see he wants to take control. And of course, Mwangala Salomes is under him. Chapens is under him. All the people there, UPND cadres. So you cannot trust that UPND cadres will give the right judgment over Bill 7. Bill 7 must be rejected by every Zambian. Any well-meaning Zambian must reject Bill 7. Okay? So now, the next is, so this article, okay, gives too much control to ECZ and reduces democratic competition. Like I've said, Salifianji, if you cannot stand, ngatetwimine Salifianji because Daudi achenda na mkwata 5,000 kwacha. Party ila kwata abantolo 7 or 8. Okay, twalabika po nani? Mwinga Douglas. Twalabika po umbi Sean Tembo. Twalabika. Now, if they have so much control, they would be deciding which candidates that you can put. And you put the weak candidates there. In fact, they'll make sure that your strong candidates will never be on the ballot paper. A very dangerous bill. It must be rejected. Bill 7 must be rejected without fail. It's a dangerous bill. Imagine ECZ deciding for you. Since when did an independent body, organization, start deciding to say, I think Wastela imusunga immediately chukai jade, mubanami nembani pa Facebook at mwina nkongole ya tukwacha. I think Wastela imotipi nyanga. Imagine, they will now even be interfering in your personal affairs, your divorce issues, things that are happening in your private life. They will be bringing it out now to say, because of this you cannot stand. They'll be petty. Because these are cadres. Cadres are petty. They will look for anything about you. We must reject Bill 7 without fail. Okay? Uncle Mwela, thank you so much for this summary. Okay? So it reduces democratic competition. Okay? Now here's a clear and simple explanation of each change in Article 57, 58, 68 as proposed in Bill 7. So Bill 7 is all about changing the Articles 57, 58, and 68, all right? So now, 57, Article 57, the new rules for by-elections. Now this is dangerous. Very dangerous. Bill 7 completely removes Article 57 and replaces it with new rules, meaning no by-elections. No by-elections. Sheila, your dad was a councillor or an MP. Something happens. No by-elections. HH will just speak to say, you, come and be an MP here. You, come and be a councillor here. Is that democracy? Is that democracy? And you are saying, Bill 7, Bill 7, Bill 7 is bad. Okay, so now, a by-election must be held only when the vacancy is for an independent candidate. You hear? Only an independent MP. Alama independent MPs baka vepaya. Yes. Baka vepaya. Suddenly, you'll be seeing Imyotoka na shipirubuka. Independent MP by election. It's a danger. Why only independent MPs? Why not a PF MP? Why not all political party MPs? It's because they know that even the independent MPs that they'll be putting there, they might even be UPND MPs posing as independent, because right now people don't want UPND. So UPND might sponsor some independent candidates that will be supporting them. So automatically that MP will be a stooge that they will murder. Honestly. Will be a stooge that they will murder so that they take their seat. You just hear, Uku independent MP Alpha, Uku independent MP Alpha, Uku independent MP Alpha. And remember, we've discussed that ECZ will be in charge of who can file in. You try to bring your candidate, no. You just find that it's only UPND there with a small party. Maybe even MMD, Finnish party, or even UNIP. The rest, they will say you are disqualified. They take the seat. It's a danger. Already, pardon me, right now we have about maybe 15 independent MPs. They will collect all the seats. What HH wants is to have the majority seats in parliament so that you can have full control of government. And this is dangerous. Don't allow him. Okay, so a by-election must always take place within 90 days after the vacancy of an independent MP. Only an independent MP who dies. If a PF MP dies, God forbid. If a CF MP dies, God forbid. My people, I know I'm campaigning for all the MPs. I have a group for MPs. God forbid. But suppose it happens that, you know, an independent PF MP dies, a CF MP dies, no by-election. HH will simply say, here, come and stand. You are now the MP. You will pick someone from UPND to stand, to be an MP. Just like that. See how it's dangerous even for MPs. Because I'm MPs, but I clear if you want to say. Yes. We cannot say that it's impossible. We have seen what has happened. JJ Banda has lost his seat. He's in exile. Munia Zulu is in prison. He lost his seat. Tarsila Lungu has lost her seat. Who caused the whole issue for Tarsila Lungu to lose the seat? Isn't it HH? Tewa arengele HH kutwala family kukot. And then assassin and HPun. So it is dangerous to give such a government power. You do not give HH such type of powers. Zambians, you will suffer. You will remember my words. With all my British children enjoying British benefits, okay, of being born in Britain, whilst you suffer. So listen to me. That is not suffering. That is telling you, I am concerned about the welfare of you. Okay? So now, clause 57, section 2, okay, subsection 2. No by-elections within six months of a general election. So now, if Bakwatama elections, within 6 months, like what happened to the MP in Kabwata, that man was murdered. UPND MP in Kabwata. August, September, Paget, Baba Punka na Motka, he died. As long as it's within this period, no by-election within 6 months. So how many people Bakepaya? How many people Bakepaya? How many people Bakabepe Bakake? How many people will be planted even Nama drugs pamotoka? Ate wale pepe champ. How many? How many women are they going to pay? Kuti iwe go and pose that you are the baby father to this one. How many? It's a very dangerous bill. We should not allow it. Okay, so if an independent MP or mayor dies or resigns within 6 months of the general election, no by-election. Now, that's a danger. Why would an MP who's independent decide to resign? it means that person was put in there by Hakainde Hichilema'S team to pretend to be part of the independent team. And then after that, HH now says, I've come to grab my seat. Give me my seat back. Eh? I sponsored your campaign. Give me my seat back. So what happens? No by-election. Meaning, HH will say, the seat is null and void. We'll give it to Princess Kasone. We'll give it to Jack Mwembu. Just like that. And you want to say, Bill 7 is good to give powers to somebody like this. Must be crazy. Okay? So when you see what Beauty Katewe is against the bill and the churches and the opposition, it's not because Varimpata HH. HH left for quarter full control. He said no to Bill 10. Now he wants to bring back the same Bill 10, but calling it Bill 7. Now with this one is even more dangerous. At least Bill 7 was talking about, Bill 10 was talking about delimitation and inclusive, blah, blah, blah. But he wants to just make it so exclusive. And the beneficiaries, now listen to this. An MP dies in Hakainde. Yeah, God forbid. Uncle, sorry. An MP dies in, we'll just say, what name can we give it? Let me just say in Lunda, okay? There's no place called Lunda. An MP dies in Lunda, okay? HH will say, oh, Gamamba Badala. Hey, Gamamba. MP wa Lunda uku afa uku. Gamamba, go and take. HH will just put all his people already. We have seen how he has put all his people in all the embassies. What will stop him from doing that? Now, because that Gamwamba was put in by HH, the person will be loyal. When they say this bill, yes. That bill, yes. Because HH picked you from the village. You are doing nothing. Just like what he has done to diplomats. That's why he's even asking diplomats to be paying royalties now. Because they were just seated at home. And now they are earning $21,000 a month for nothing. Some $10,000, some $15,000. Whilst you have no power and they are busy, they are bathing in hot water, enjoying themselves. Please, HH is a danger to Zambia. Do not support this man. Okay, so now, clause number 57 of 3 says ECZ gains full control of the by-election scheduling. Okay, they gain full control. So they can just say, tomorrow by-election. You have not paid the nomination fees. You don't have a candidate. You have not yet campaigned. Why? Because they already have the person that they'll put there from UPND who already win the election. Okay, so they'll be doing things, Mingalato. It will be a government of Mingalato. Remove Hakainde Hichilema in 2026. Please. And as incoming cabinet minister, yes, me, you will see the changes that we'll bring in. You know me now, I have a good heart. We'll work. We'll ensure that Zambian people, they are beneficiaries of a lot of things. Not just one tribe benefiting. Okay? There are some things that I've observed even now. Say, this government was doing this. This government was doing that. It should never be like that. Every government should have a fair, way of recruiting people across the country. Even in all the positions that are available, PS, minister, whatever positions. We need to balance 5 from Northern, 5 from Solwezi, Northwestern, 5 from Southern. Not one side, no. It should never be like that. So we are going to be balancing, okay? So now, ECZ will set the place, the date, and the time, okay, of the by-election. Simple meaning, ECZ has full authority to determine when and where the by-elections will happen. Article 58, new rule about constituencies. Now, this is what Hakainde Hichilema really wants. This is his baby. This is what he fantasizes about. This is his love affair. If you don't fulfill Bill 7 for HH, you will have broken his heart, because this is where his love story begins. What is the love story of HH? Article 58, new rules about constituencies. The old clause 2 is deleted and replaced. The new rule, the number of constituencies shall be equal to the number of constituency-based seats in the Assembly, National Assembly, Article 68. Simple meaning, the number of constituencies in Zambia must match the number of directly elected MPs. Okay? So, since Article 68 says that there are 211 constituency MPs, there will now be 211 constituencies. Okay? Article 68, the new structure of parliament. Remember that presently, we only have 156 members of parliament. Okay? Now, Hakainde Hichilema wants them to balance to how many? 211. Adding an extra 55 MPs. Now, the regions that HH is targeting for delimitation and adding more MPs, Southern Province and Northwestern and Western, his strongholds. Why? Why? Why Southern Province? Why Northwestern? Because he knows these people, they vote. Even if you are rubbish, you are foolish, as long as you're from their place, they vote for you. That's why he wants to do this. This is his baby. This is his girlfriend. This one. This Article 68. So, these MPs are elected under the first post system, same as now, like now, okay? But the total will increase from 156 to 211. Zambia will now have 211 constituencies and 211 elected MPs. When we talk about the CDF, is it reaching all the constituencies? When we talk about MPs, each MP gets about 25,000 salary per month. You are now going to increase. Plus, there's also sitting allowance of 2,000 per day. You are now going to increase. Which money does Zambia have to be able to give extra 55 seats? Already parliament is congested. There are too many people in parliament at 156. You now want to make it 211. Where will they be sitting? Upstairs in the upper deck? Or some will be sitting on the floor? This type of thinking canongability, honestly, just shows me that, you know, when people are too selfish, it's too much. And then, 20 women MPs, proportional representation. I will never believe that Hakainde Hichilema will ever appoint women, because Hakainde Hichilema does not like working with women, okay? The only women that he's working with, Doreen Mwamba, because she used to remove money for fuel, she used to help him for campaign, she used to remove money from GBM's family because she's married to GBM. That's the reason why she's even there. Mtalena Lumango was used because she's a Bemba, so that HH should not look like he doesn't like Bembas. But you can see, she is more of a ward councillor than even a vice president. What is her job? What is her duty? She doesn't travel abroad. She doesn't go to places that need to be, you know, representation of a vice president. HH sends Mulambo Haimbe to all these places. She never goes anywhere apart from Southern Province and local. Church programs, album launch. What is that? So for me, I do not trust that Hakainde Hichilema will put women anywhere. I don't believe him. It's just a way to just entice. And even if he puts women there, he will bring the wife's relatives. Gary Nkombo's family. Yes. He will bring Gary Nkombo's wife to come and be there. The wife's sister, cousin. They'll be there. They'll fit in the 20 now. So I don't believe that he will do anything fair here. So now, I don't trust HH. I will never trust him. And don't trust him too. Okay, so the simple meaning is that up to 20, women will enter parliament through a party list system, not constituency. So HH will appoint. Hey! Come on, Badara. Badara. Get ready. Come from Choma. Bwelan. Mazabu. Bwelan. Come and stand. I'm giving you a position. You've been a very good person as a chair lady in Mazabuka. Come, you'll be an MP. And when that person becomes an MP, that person has no value, cannot even do anything. HH will have total control. They are zombies. So you're actually telling yourselves that we have put HH to be in control. You know, there's that saying that they say, that thing that they always say at the great one, the president of the what. So HH wants to be the president of Zambia, the great one. President that is in charge of the MPs. President that is in charge of all the mining companies. President that is in charge of all the constituencies. President that is in charge of all the councils in Zambia. President that is in charge of the, you alone. You alone, you want to do every job. Already he's in charge of ECZ. He's put cadres there. Well-known cadres. For the first time in the history of Zambia, we have cadres in ECZ. Then we will now trust you that the whole election process will be fair. It will never be fair. We will now trust you that HH will appoint women. Which women? He will just appoint Kamwamba here. He will never. Which people will he appoint? Well, Imenda, the vice SG. that was pointing the middle finger in an interview. Which other women? Because UPND hasn't got many educated women there. Who Chipo Manawasa will be appointed. Who else will be appointed? Mazoka's daughter. Who? HH cannot appoint any other person apart from his own people. Okay? You go to all the embassies, it's only his relatives there. His wife's relatives. Gary Nkombo's relatives. So are you now going to trust him with 20 MPs? Ha! It's a joke. Okay, so, again, the MPs are not elected by the public. Okay? They are simply chosen by the political parties. If this ever happened, it means Babatuke will say, my wife should be MP because I have worked hard. This one too will come. Me, you must put my sister there. I have suffered for this party. And since HH is the great one, the Messiah of UPND, the Savior, the president of the great one, president of UPND, the Red Devils, he will just nominate whoever he wants to nominate or appoint. Okay, so then the president will appoint. So now the first 120, the party will choose. Then the second one, there'll be 10 MPs again. Remember, there is already 20. There's 20, okay? So now they're going to elect 10 as well. Okay, so MPs, 3 persons with disabilities. Already HH fired a lady with disabilities. He used that lady for a bit. He fired her. Which other person is he working with disabilities? For you to be able to convince people, Hakainde Hichilema, you should be able to demonstrate now before that you can hire people with disabilities. How many people are working with you with disabilities? None. We have so many talented people who are deaf, who even watch my videos. We have to use translators to help them. I have very good son of mine, Wezi, is deaf. And some other ladies, they send me messages in my inbox. They are deaf, a deaf community. How many have you given jobs? How many of them have traveled to the UN to represent Zambia? How many of them have worked, even going to SADC? You would rather not even go to those meetings and conferences because your people are not there. Unless your people are going there, like Mulambo Haimbi, that's when you believe that things will be done the way they should be done. Vadala, Mwakangiwa. Okay, so the 10 nominated MPs will be from Hakainde Hichilema. That's how many already? 20 MPs nominated disabled, 3 disabled people, and then 20 nominated MPs. Okay, so then the second one is the 12 youths. 12 youths. I was laughing at the university students who are president who think HH can surpass all those young Trevor Mwindes and them who maybe they've been doing grade 12 now, who belong to the same tribe as Hakainde Hichilema, that you will leave them to come and hire them and give them the 12 MPs, the youths. And I also want to be in parliament. You are jokers. If you ever watch my video, Hakainde Hichilema can never make you an MP. I'll give you an example. In 2021, prior, that's 2020, in 2021, we had a young man called Manenga and Gerald Ngoma. They came up with a social contract for Hakainde Hichilema that once he forms government, the youths on the Copper Belt will be given mining licenses. And Hakainde Hichilema agreed to that social contract. And immediately that social contract was signed, HH told them to go around the country to get the names of the people and the groups of cooperatives that they've made. And he's making a promise that he will make sure that the youths will benefit. That was when Copperbelt gave him the trust and the vote. What happened to Manenga? A few days later after signing, he died in a car crash. And that car crash, his mother, up to now, does not believe it was normal. Gerald Ngoma died a few days later. And that is how that social contract died. So be careful. The promises that you're trying to fulfill with HH. You send UNZA students. You send all these Levi Mwanawasa students, whatever colleges. You will disappear without a trace or you will die before the elections. You will never even sit on that seat. That I can guarantee you. You are playing a dangerous game. That's a snake, HH. You will die. Manenga died. A party strong person, you. From nowhere, because you are supporting Bill 7, HH will give you to be what? Ukafwapofye. Mukafwapofye. Ta mukalala ta mwakabuke. After you sign with him, Mukaluba, I'm telling you. Because I'm C5 very kuposhoko. Oba amroba bani ingira munganda bakuipa. And that is sent a church the walk second away chimbwe. He's a very dangerous guy. So as you are going there to State House, now women are my pipi. I'm supporting you, President. Forget about these people who are talking. They are not important. They don't know anything. Iwe student. Na matevela chiriare nunka you at 2000 Gen Z. We saw Baba Beauty Katebe. A legend, a strong woman. And to forget about those people. People like Sangwa who are constitutional lawyers. You always learn to forget those people. MPs, when a brand munduiri. All of them kafwaya. All of them that stood against Bill 7 were given katut. You now come and say ati, forget about them. Ukaluba. This is a promise. I just don't talk because I have nothing to talk. Ukalala tawakashibuke. Ukaya kumarket tawakeshona moto kaeka kupunga. This is the Hakainde Hichilema you're dealing with. Ataka kupera president. You be MP, youth. Where? When Chipo Mwanawasa needs to benefit. Already that's a seat already gone. When Pirato needs to get seat. Bakese peraiwe by HH. Mulalota san. All those students that are supporting HH, ngana mfole ama junta, go and use your brain. Ngana wamri piyotuma school fees. Give us the bill. We'll be paying for you. Diaspora is rich. We can cater for your school fees and accommodation. In Saleh, Mukaluba, Manenga died before the elections. You too, you would die. As soon as the bill passes through, Mukaluba won't say that are supporting HH. You don't know this guy. Yeah. Continue. Your family will even be crying to Facebook to cry. Hey, but new timwana, ujomine zorira, ezo kambati bill 7. Yeah, another bunch. Motoka kashina bak strap. After you sign, bami pera, ma promise. Emi otoka shenu. Wherever you're going, Mukaluba. I can promise you this. None of you students will ever see any seat from Hakainde Hichilema. He's already got his people that he wants to put there. None of you is part of them. The only thing 5 pin over me paid. The only thing 200 kwacha over me paid. Forget about HH giving you any position as MP. Forget it. He can never fulfill such a promise. You must be joking. All right, so guys, we're doing this is going to be part 1. We'll continue and do part 2 because it's 39 pages. Okay, so I'll end where I can end. We continue part 2. We do part 3 like that so that you understand that Bill 7 is a danger. So we are on the 10 nominated MPs, and then also the president keeps the power to appoint MPs directly, just like before, up to 10. I've said that. So the vice president is an automatic member of parliament, or like before, obviously. VP means, So the speaker is part of parliament. Both deputy speakers are part of parliament. It's already happening. Okay, so the overall interpretation of this, Bill 7 proposes major changes as to how parliament is structured. Number 1, Zambia's parliament will grow from 156 MPs to 256. Remember, I said 55 were nominated, which gave us 20 MPs, women, which obviously will be from Badala. 12 the youths, which will be when Chipo Mwanawasa wonse bari yawe na jito. Then the third one was 3 disabled people. Then no more MPs nominated by HH. Okay, so altogether 256 members. Does Zambia have the capacity of 256 members? Does it? You want to expand your constituencies in your strongholds. Then now you're also asking for us to have 256 members. Mulefu wafena panado, ma constituencies. Where are you going to get money to give 100 extra MPs salaries? This is a joke. A bloody joke. All right. So now, this is how it goes. 211 are elected MPs. We're going to have extra 55 seats. So 211 MPs are elected. 20 women, 12 youths, 3 persons with disabilities, 10 nominated, then plus a speaker, vice speaker, and, their deputies, okay? That's 256. Now, they will be selected by political parties for the, PR seats, and the presidential nominated by the MPs. Now, ECZ will gain more authority over by-elections and nomination timing. By-elections will only happen for independent candidates. We've talked about that. And then why must we reject? I think I'll end after I say this, okay, so that we continue another one. We need people to watch this to understand, then we'll continue another one. Why must we reject Articles 57, 58, and 68 of Bill 7? One, why we reject Article 57? It creates two clauses of political representation, okay? Article 57 creates an unjust divide. Independent MPs get by-elections when they leave office, okay? But obviously not normal MPs. Yeah, party MPs do not. This is unconstitutional discrimination. I already said that we don't allow that. So now every constituency, whether represented by a party or independent, deserves the right to choose the MP. Okay. B, it weakens voter sovereignty. Okay. So if people are deciding on their own to say, okay, I've decided I don't want to be part of this, and HH says, okay, since you've left, we're going to replace you with somebody without any elections. It doesn't carry weight in terms of how we vote, okay? So if a candidate from a political party dies, resigns, or disqualifies, voters will not choose any new representative, like we've said. It places too much power on ECZ, and then also, so we should reject. I've said that already. So why we should reject 57? We've talked about the population, okay? Population, Vikang. We're only 22 million. Why should we have more than 256 constituencies? For what? That's too much. Population, demographic change. Okay, so why should we reject it? 57. Why we should reject Article 68 is that, to increase MPs from 156 to over 256 with no public demand. It doesn't sit right, okay? There's no public demand. You're not complaining, okay? Monali is a big constituency. The MP should be able to travel all over. Remember, there's councillors there. There's council chairperson. So why there's mayors as well? Why not allow those people to do their work? That's the reason why we have councillors. Okay? So many MPs will no longer be chosen by voters. Okay? And then it also expands the presidential control over parliament. Increasing nominated MPs from 8 to 10 strengthens presidential influence. Okay, combined with PR list, political parties, the seats are increased to more than 40. Now imagine if there are 256 seats for MPs. Already PF has been crushed left, right, and center. Literally are saying that HH wants to have 230 MPs that belong to UPND and 26 belonging to the opposition. It's not balanced and it's not right. Okay. So guys, I will end here because I gotta go. All I needed to do is, to let you guys understand that Hakainde Hichilema doesn't mean well. The MPs will no longer be chosen by voters, one. And then it expands presidential control. It gives parties complete control over who enters parliament. Like we said, the more than 50 MPs will be nominated by the political party. So if you're enemies with the SG will say, Stimufuna Stella. Okay? Why should political parties have control? It's never been about political parties. It's about the Zambian constitution. And that is why I keep on saying that if people think that UPND and PF are the only people that can save Zambia, then they are wrong. Zambia has got great men and women. We have John Sangwa there who wants to stand as a president. We have Chishimba Kambu who wants to stand as a president. Certainly, if these people decide to stand independent and the Zambians choose them, what is HH going to say? I don't know, it's not constitutional. And then part of this as well is HH wants to remove presidential candidates to stand independent. That's something that we'll look into on the next live stream. But again, it undermines the independence of MPs. An MP is not chosen by voters with accountable. A person who's not chosen by voters will never be accountable to voters. they will be accountable to Hakainde Hichilema. So imagine when our MP, Honorable Ebo Mwanza, Honorable Adubanje, Honorable Kainde Hichilema'S, Honorable, just look at you to say, HH gave me the job. You didn't give me the job. I don't care about you. Next time. As long as he's paying their dues to HH, who will suffer? You. Not the MP. The MP will receive salary and build a house with swimming pool. Whilst you can't even pump water, common water in your house. Your MPs, they have swimming pool. Taking their children to private schools, International School of Lusaka, American International School. You are suffering. And you are saying Bill 7 Kwenyu. Support Bill 7 now. It's you that will suffer. Bill 7 is dangerous. Very dangerous. Do not allow Hakainde Hichilema to go through with Bill 7. So guys, I gotta go do my school run. We have reached on page 11, where we say this bill opens door to future constitutional manipulation. And with this new structure that HH is proposing, the ruling party can achieve a supermajority easily. Okay, constitutional amendments becomes effortless. Judicial reforms can be manipulated. Impeachment becomes impossible. It becomes impossible to impeach HH because you have 236 MPs in parliament and 20 opposition. How do you impeach somebody who is not listening to the rules of Zambia? So guys, see you on my next live stream. Thank you so much for joining me. We've reached page 11. We will now go to other pages from 12 to 39 to speak expressively about Bill 7. Bill 7 is a danger. Hakainde Hichilema should never be given such type of powers. Okay, somebody wants the document. The document, please reach out to 0974 040 861. 0974 040 861. Go and collect Bill 7. Go and, preach the gospel of Bill 7 to your community. Let them understand what Hakainde Hichilema is proposing. Bill 7 is personalized to Hakainde Hichilema. Bill 7 is about HH, fulfilling his wishes and ego to become a dictator. Bill 7 is actually a copycat of Museveni. That's why it's called Bill 7. HH admires to become a Museveni. And we will not allow him in Zambia. Please do not allow this guy who just came from Bwenga. He's never been an MP, never been a councillor, was in opposition for 20 years. He was actually ditched on to people, dashed to say, this is your president. No election whatsoever in the party to see if he's stronger than Gary Nkombo or Cornelius Mwita or Jack Mwimbu. That is why he wants to have so much power. Let's not allow HH to go through with Bill 7. Bill 7 is a danger. And once Bill 7 doesn't go through, HH will lose elections in 2026. It's a girl, Hichilema'S.